growing up with an absent dad, for me, I'm just that person that always looks at a negative as a positive. So I looked at it as, you know what, like I didn't experience this. So like when I have kids, I want to do this because I don't really know what this feels like. Or just like Kiana said, I'm reflective. Like I reflect on things and reflect on certain things. Like, you know what, let me try to do this. So it really just molded me and pushed me to be like, you know, just be the best dad that you know how to be.
Get around those obstacles and make room to create opportunities. You are listening to the Around the Way podcast. And now, your hosts, Kyle King and Kiana Williams.
Welcome to another episode of Around the Way podcast, where we help you get around your obstacles to find a way to redesign your life. We are here with my brother Mod in the building.
Yo, what's good,
Active dad, super dad, one of the best dads that I know. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. How are you, man?
Man, I'm feeling blacktastic.
These words.
Like,
I'm like, hold on, let me get my notepad. I'm feeling blacktastic.
I'm feeling blacktastic, bro. Like, nah, definitely, man. I feel like our audience right now, this is about to be an amazing episode. Like, I really just feel it because we've had conversations just, about a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Marriage, fatherhood, just our upbringing, all of these different things. And I think this is going to be such a riveting discussion. Before we even get started, could you introduce yourself, talk about who you are, what you do, and your beautiful family as well?
Got you. So what's up, everybody? My name is Rashomon.
Hold on. Did you just like deepen your voice just now?
No, I
Nah, do you, bro?
Oh, okay.
Do you?
I don't want to curse.
Say what you feel.
I like y'all, but my radio voice was good. Everybody, my name is Rashomon Torrance. I'm the founder and CEO of Active Dad. I'm here in Charlotte, North Carolina, from Savannah, Georgia. And what Active Dad is, just to hop right into it, is it's an organization, also a brand. I'm really focused on promoting positive fatherhood, showing that Black fathers do exist and just changing that narrative, because we all know the picture that has been painted. So I'm the father of Landon and Lennox. Landon is 5, Lennox is 19 months. I'm not that parent that counts.
Nah, facts. He's 1.
Yeah. How old is 1? I only know that because I just told someone. We just got to talk about family. So beautiful wife, Ebony, as well. Got to make sure you throw that in there so you don't get strangled.
You forgot about me.
Right.
So I actually got in trouble about that, something else. So make
we'll
sure we throw that in there. But yeah. That's a little bit about me.
Nah, that's good, bro. Like, I love that. One of the things that I really love about you, bro, is that, you definitely have Active Dad. You definitely have a lot of the different things that you've done in the community at colleges, all these different things. But I feel like you found a really amazing way of integrating who you are as a person into everything that you create. Gotcha. And I think that's super dope. Like, could you just talk more about Active Dad? What inspired you to do that? And I guess what led you to first start it, but keep it going as well.
Yeah. So first thing, something that was funny was when I did an interview as a Facebook Live with my line brother, and when he introduced me, he was like, "Yeah, it's my line brother Mod. He's a social entrepreneur." I'm like, "What's a social entrepreneur?" But when we talked about it, he was saying it's basically someone that takes like their environment and just makes something out of it. Mm-hmm. And when he went down like the timeline, because he's known me since college, it's like, when I was in college, I used to like to party.
Facts.
Savannah State University, shout out to that. But we partying, and I was like, I'm partying so much. I like doing this. Let's make some money doing it. So then me and my friends in the entertainment group, like, if we're going to party, you might as well make money doing parties. Then after I graduated college, I started a nonprofit. I actually tried to move to Charlotte. So this is a funny story. 2013, I tried to move to Charlotte. I was like, I'm going to move to Charlotte and leave Savannah. Didn't happen. I was still with Wells, and I was interviewing.
And you weren't married at this time?
No, wasn't married.
Okay.
No kids, no anything. Okay. Just out there. So I was
just
like, I'm relocating.
You look so happy.
Yes. Keep going. I've been there.
Why did he look like that?
God, low key, I did get real excited. I don't know what just happened in my body.
We just became best friends.
Literally.
But so didn't move to Charlotte, and I told myself if I don't move, I'm going to make the most of my time in Savannah. So Project Inspire is a nonprofit, and what we did was youth development. We started off with boys, then we started doing boys and girls, but I felt when when you're younger and when we're in high school, we all went through this. If somebody came to talk to us, it was like, we're going to have Bill Scott from Duke Energy come.
Facts.
And he's going to tell you all about, life and what you should do. And then Bill gets up there and go to high school, go to college, get a job,
Boring
blah,
as
blah,
hell.
blah. So me and my boys, we were like, let's create a panel that's like real. We're going to have the college graduate, like 4-year to 2-year, HBCU, PWI. I didn't go to college, but we're all still successful. And we're going to really talk to students, and it's going to be like, the first question was, tell me about your upbringing. So that the kids could connect. So it was like the joint parent home, the single parent home, grandma raised me, everything. So we did that. And
how long did that go on?
From 2013 till, honestly, we still do it. It's just downsized now.
Okay.
Because in Savannah, honestly, when we first did it, I was like, I want to do it, just go back, get back to my old high school. That be it. We did it the first one. It literally took off throughout the whole city to where like once a month we hit every high school. We were motivational speakers for Bethune-Cookman. We did gigs at Savannah State, Georgia Southern, Armstrong. It really took off. So I just shared that to say that was another situation where like I just looked at something like, when I was younger, I know what I needed. I didn't have a dad, so I'm like, I wish somebody talked to me about this. So let's do that. And that kind of rose into active dad. Boom, I got kids now. I'm a dad. I come from a single parent household, blended, and I say that because my mom was married at one point, so I had a stepdad. Then they got divorced, went back to single parent household.
Facts.
But when I became that, I'm just like, hey, I don't really know much about fatherhood. I don't really have an example to say, hey, this is what you do. So I'm really just out here thugging it in a sense, just doing it. And but when I had Landon, when I had my son, I just realized there's a lot more guys that didn't have that or did have that, but still just kind of need that dad community. So I'm like, you know what, let's do this. Let's do it. And I think it's easy to do things that are a reflection of where you are in life. Yes. It was easier to throw parties because I was 21, 22, staying with mama, just throwing parties and doing all that type of stuff. It was easy doing nonprofit because I knew what it felt like to be fresh out of college, and I knew what I wish people had told us when we were in high school. So
you create that.
Yeah. So when I think of things, to me, to make it easy is like, what is something that you're already doing? And fatherhood is.
I think it's even bigger than that, bro. Like, and you don't even realize the power that you have. So you're not just taking things that you were in that season. You were literally identifying problems that you had in your life and creating solutions for other people.
Yeah.
Right. So you were like, all right, in college, these different things were going on. I like to party. So I'm going to create this entertainment group, but I'm not just going to create it. I'm actually like profit from it. So I'm going to have some residual. You thought through like, all right, when I was in school, like we were hearing from all these, like Bill Scott, like all these boring speakers that weren't really engaging us and giving us the real.
Yeah.
So why don't I recreate this? Because I wasn't really feeling that, but I'm going to look out for the other college kids so that they can get what they actually need to be able to progress as, graduates.
Yeah.
And then you were like, hey, I didn't have a father really growing up, like a real father figure. I came from, single parent to kind of a joint household to then, single parent again, but I didn't have those role models for fatherhood. So like, how do I be a dad? Well, let me become a dad. Well, not become a dad, but when I am a dad, let me get active as a dad and then create this community with other fathers so that it can shift the narrative of what fatherhood even is as well. I think that's dope. What are you thinking?
So you seem very reflective, just in kind of what Kyle was saying. It's like you seem to always be kind of not going backwards, but thinking backwards to provide solutions for the future. So like, what is something that you're experiencing now that will be the catalyst for something that you'll create a solution for that maybe you don't have the solution for? Like, you need it right now, so you're going to provide the solution for it once you figure it out.
Something I'm dealing with right now. I would say balancing it all. That's something that I always strive to work better at. And it's funny, I just got off doing the 75 hard challenge. And when I did 75 hard, what I took away from doing that was just every day. You just tackle it every day. Like
Tell us about 75 Hard.
So 75 Hard is a challenge where you it's not a weight loss journey. Everybody thinks it's a weight loss journey, but if you do it the right way, you're going to lose weight. Okay. So it's a challenge that one of my shout out to Marche Smith. She actually was the first person I knew that did it. And for 75 days, you it's called the Mindset Challenge. So you have to read 10 pages out of a book every day. You have to drink a gallon of water every day. You have to work out twice. One workout has to be indoors. One workout has to be outdoors. And they both have to be 45-minute workouts. No alcohol at all. You have to pick a diet. So this is the thing. You pick your own diet. Whatever you want. So my diet was no fast food, no sweets, no fried foods, no sodas, things like that. Whatever diet you pick, you have to stick to it.
For 75 days?
For 75 days.
Ooh.
So, yeah, it was
that's a lot.
We did a support group, though. It was a group of us. And it started off as like 7 or 8. But 4 of us ended up finishing. Because it was many days I'm just like, I don't know about this. I'm hungry. I see this.
And a workout twice a day?
Yeah, so I would work out in the morning at 5. And then, like, your second workout could be anything. Like, I'll walk around the neighborhood for 45 minutes. Or my patio, just do like some HIIT cardio out there. So you figure it out. And it really taught me like to take things, one step at a time, but then also with that, don't overthink things because people are like, oh, you got to work out twice. Yoga is considered a workout. Walking is considered a workout. Stretching is considered a workout. But people automatically think,
like, you
got to be out there doing all that. Listen, I got 2 kids. I'll be tired. Be real tired. So it just allowed me to somewhat balance everything. It got hectic towards the end. But that's what I'm dealing with right now. It's just balancing because doing that and then just trying to implement a healthy lifestyle. We're still in a panoramic right now. So only God knows what's going on with that. I'm working from home. My wife's working from home. My son just started going to school full time. So he's out the house, but I still have a 19-month-old running around the house. So we're still trying to juggle and balance it all. And then my wife is extremely introverted. We're polar opposites. So I'm the extrovert. So I'm doing this, doing that, trying to do this, trying to do that. So just juggling everything is but I'm gonna get it together.
I have another question.
Okay.
Is that okay? I know you probably have some thoughts.
Yeah, I got thoughts.
I know. So I know a lot of times. Shout out to the one thing again. I know a lot of times that when we're trying to balance 2 things, we don't, like, we can't. It's hard, when we're trying to balance multiple things. Something is going to suffer. Yeah. What is an area that you feel like is suffering right now because you haven't fully figured out the balance?
An area that's suffering right. I feel like it's like a seesaw effect. And I think right now something that's suffering, it sounds terrible, but it's like relationship wise, we're trying to find balance because my wife just got a new job. She went working part-time. Now she works full-time. So if her working full-time, I'm working full-time. We're trying to navigate what does that look like for us, especially with the kids, because now she's just adjusting. So she's tired more. Yeah. And now we have our days where, like I was telling Kyle, like before I left, I took care of everything. So kids are already fed. House was a mess from kids messing up. Went ahead and straightened up. And when I get back, I'll most likely wash them if she doesn't wash them. But we rotate doing that so that each of us has our own time. But it's a seesaw effect because it's like then we may be doing good and all this stuff is going on. I'm not really able to do as much with active dad because the past 2 weeks for me have been really hectic. So I feel like everything else has been getting a little better, but now my active dad stuff is slowing down because it's like your head space because you're just trying to do so much. So I'm just working on scheduling better. I try to stick to a good schedule, but life, you got to be flexible. So.
All right, so we're going to get to the nitty gritty, right? Now I got a whole little diagram down here. So, like literally, like this, and then I'm going to go to this. So one of the things that I hear is definitely the challenge of balancing everything, right? And, even when you were saying that, you have a wife, you have 2 kids, you have active dad, you still have your job and everything that you do. While still being able to manage your relationships, we have a run group, all these different things, right? And you have all these pots burning. And what I just heard you communicate is like you kind of still trying to figure everything out, right? And it's a seesaw. So my question would have been, what do you actually need to be able to create balance? But I already know that answer, and it's people, right? But we've had a conversation in the past in regards to your inability to ask for help. Talk to me about where that comes from, and talk to me about how that is potentially affecting you now.
Here come Kyle with the knockout punch. But with that, needing people, where do we start?
I had an advantage because he knew this like intel about you.
Nah, no. That's how it get me. Take you out on play dates and you ask all these questions.
Like, we're just running today. Get the kids together.
But you said that, eh?
Right.
Oh, okay.
Let me put
He got a little notebook like.
But with me, like Kyle said, the inability of asking for help. For one thing, Kyle be proud because with Active Dad, I've created a team now. We're working towards things because I'm no one that tries to do everything.
Solid.
But like I told Kyle, we just gonna get all up in my business today. But no, so quick backstory. When I first moved to Charlotte, not when I first moved here, but I want to say it was 2019. Time is going by fast, but like 2018, 2019, I started going to therapy. And nothing was wrong. It's really bothering me what year it was. We're going to say 2018. But I started going to therapy and nothing was wrong. I told my therapist I felt like I was at a really, really good point in life. I moved to a brand new city. Because when I moved to Charlotte, I knew nobody here. I knew 3 people. If I call you my homie, I don't really know you. I don't know your mama name. I'll put it that way. I ain't never brought potato salad to your cookout. Something like that. So, brand new city, like got up here, established myself. I bought my crib. Everything. I literally made a list before I left. Like, I'm going to move to Charlotte. I'm going to get a new job. I'm going to do this. I'm going to buy a house. I made a list before I left Savannah. And I, accomplished everything. And it was cool, but I was just like, what's next? Yeah. You don't really know what's next when you set out to do something. So I started going to therapy and talking to, shout out to Dr. Lori as well. I'm shouting out to everybody. But I started going to therapy, and one thing that she did, she told me after a couple of sessions was, you have a survivor's mindset. So you need to allow your mind to catch up with where your body is right now. Because physically you are in a whole new city, and you've done all of this stuff, but your mind is still trying to catch up, and that's why your mind is operating.
That's a dope perspective.
Yeah, and she and she told me, she's like, so that's why you're looking for what's next, because you've always had to look for what's next. But if you're in a part right now where it's like you want to do this, there needs to be a time where you sit down and you enjoy what you accomplish. She's like, but if you've always been on this, I gotta get it, gotta figure out what's next type thing, that's not going to allow yourself to enjoy it. And with that being said, she just really. She did what therapists do. They break you down and tell you all these things. And she just told me, why are you this way? And it's kind of one of those things where I told Kyle was growing up, great upbringing, single parent home, the strong black woman that everybody talks about. Moms did her thing. But it was always, I remember growing up and always being told, don't depend on anybody for nothing. Let me tell you something. The people in the world don't give a damn about you. You got to get tough skin. You got to do this. You got to do that. And then my mom was raising a boy, so she doesn't know anything about that. And my granddad was tough on all of them. So she's just like, my dad did this, let me implement those things. So just growing up that way, that's how I kind of developed this survivor's mindset. I've been working since I've been 14 years old. I had a part-time job. I'm helping mom out with bills. I worked all through college, worked 2 jobs in college as well. So I've just always had this mindset, you got to figure it out, because if you don't figure it out, who else is going to figure it out? And then where, the absent father, when that comes into play, it's you don't really have that many people to rely on, because you don't want to rely on your parents when she's stretching herself thin. And then it was a situation with my dad. I told Kyle at one point, me and my mom, we hit a really bad point. I don't like to call it homeless. People call it homeless. Practically we were, because after the divorce and it's some situations took place, we were house hopping. We were living out of a storage at one point. And I remember hitting my dad up hey, I need like I need some money enough for this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
Like, sorry to bother you. Pause.
You know you're my dad.
Why the
Yeah.
hey, sorry to bother you.
Yeah.
But like XYZ, this and the other. Oh, okay, cool. I'm gonna drop it off. So.
You did.
Exactly. So when you look at situations like that, it just really ingrains stuff. Or like when you would ask small people for things and it doesn't happen. So I have this mindset, which is a good thing, but it's not. It's like I don't like asking for help. Because I feel like if I ask for help, it's not going to really go over well. Or if I do ask for help, it's not going to be like how I want it to get done.
Standard.
Yeah, so I'm like, and then if I insert myself, it's like, nah, you don't want to insert yourself.
Look needy.
Yeah, so it's just like, you know what? Forget it. I can ask Kyle right now, hey, Kyle, can you do this for me? 8 times out of 10, I have a backup plan in my head already.
Because you don't expect he's going to come through.
I'm like, if he doesn't, you always got to be prepared. So
that's how I am. I tried to explain that to Kyle one day because I am that way. I'm like, I don't really expect people to support me. I don't really expect them to come through for me.
Yeah.
Like, and I know Kyle, people come through for him all the time. But
Yes, I was telling my dad,
told
bro.
me that.
Like, Ma told me, Ma told me that I look back at him like a deer in headlights. Like, I
can't relate.
I don't have that problem at all.
the cool thing is, my wife and Kyle have similar upbringing.
Really?
She has a very close knit, very supportive. Whatever you want, we're going to do it. And I tell her, like, I admire that about her family. Like, my family on the other side is like, hey, y'all, I need this. Shit, what you better?
Facts.
Better figure it out.
Facts. I got a follow up question to that. So I promise I'm not going to drill you too much.
It's okay.
So when you talk about absent father, right? I think this conversation doesn't come up enough. Talk to me about how having an absent father in your life, right? Backstory. So I've talked to different women in my life, and they've talked about how not having a father can do 2 things, right? You either become what you hate, or you use that as motivation to, move in a different direction, right? So my question for you is, how has not having a father motivated you to be the best father, active dad, for your 2 children now? And even husband as well.
That's my thinking voice, by the way. But nah, so not having a dad, for starters, I'll put this out there. Me and my dad have a good relationship now. Great relationship. I told him I don't really think we are father and son. I felt we're homeboys at this point because we're grown. And we had some things that took place that got us to where we are. And, when I don't, well, of course, Kyle doesn't know about this because, he had experienced this trauma growing up. But no, what I was going to say was because it's like when we have that conversation, it's like, the getting back on track thing. Guys that dads are absent, they'll tell you about the conversation when they get cool with their dad again. It's like, yeah, I want to be a dad too. I thought I told me that was like, hey, I'm 22. You kind of miss you kind of miss that. Yeah. I want us to have a really good relationship. I do admire that the energy that he knows that we missed out on, he does that with his grandkids, and he's really good with the kids. But growing up with an absent dad, for me, I'm just that person that always looks at a negative as a positive. So I looked at it as, like I didn't experience this, so like when I have kids, I want to do this because I don't really know what this feels like. Or just like Kiana said, I'm reflective. Like I'll reflect on things and reflect on certain things. Like, you know what? Let me try to do this. So it really just molded me and pushed me to be like, just be the best dad that you know how to be. Something I oftentimes struggle with is like, what are you doing? Like you're doing it, but it's like you don't really, because it's kind of like when you don't have something to measure. I mean, with anything, look at sales. You measure this year by last year. So when you don't have some things to measure, I think that does kind of mess it up a little bit for you. But all in all, I just get out here, try to do what I can do, and just use that as motivation, as fuel. And I can think of like certain things. Like I remember being small, and even though Landon isn't in sports yet, but like knowing my dad wasn't at games. So like I just saw a sign about like baseball or soccer or something. I took a picture of it and I was driving the other day. Like I want to start looking into this, but I'm already proactive. Like I want to go ahead and get that done because I can look back on that. I take a lot of pictures with my kids. I don't post them all, but we take Christmas pictures every year. We have Christmas cards, like all the cheesy stuff. We're doing all of that because I have no pictures of me and my dad when I was younger. When my dad was around, because he from the picture that was painted to me, he was kind of like in and out. And so I don't have a picture. I think the youngest picture I have of me and my dad is at my 5th grade graduation. I have no baby pictures. Like, I have none of that. So like when I had kids and said, I want to create that. We're going to take these damn pictures if we're doing this, if we're doing that, just so like they'll have those things to look back on.
It's interesting, man, and it's so powerful how you can communicate something to somebody and then they silently, take action and you don't even know. So, shout out to you. I'm about to tell you something. So hopefully you don't start crying over there. So when we was at Frankie's, man, and you was telling me that story about, just your upbringing and your moms and everything. And, you talked about, like, I felt it in your energy when you was explaining how, when you went to your pops for the first time to ask him for something, how he didn't come through, right?
Yeah.
He didn't honor his commitment. And I think for me, right, it's kind of like, it's something small, but I think it's, when you told me that, I took it upon myself to honor every single commitment that I've made to Carter from that day, right? And it's simple stuff. So it's kind of like, you don't want to take him to get ice cream because you don't feel like it. Yeah. But you say like, yeah, we about to go. And then you just expect them to forget. And then they, like, it's crazy. Kids don't forget nothing. Yeah. So like now it's like I honor everything. So it's like, if it's like literally a no, it's like, nah, like not right now. We'll go tomorrow. But if tomorrow comes, like, you have to make it a point to take him there. If you say you're going to trampoline park, you're going. If you say you're going to take him bowling, I'm going. And I've learned, and I feel like I'm a dope ass dad. Anybody that's listening, and anybody can challenge that. I got receipts. But I feel like it's made me more intentional having another father, having another brother, having another black man to just put that out. So I just want to give you shout out, bro. Like, I really appreciate you communicating that testimony, because it's really made me internally reflect, like, have you ever really not, honored any commitments? Have you dropped the ball? And dropping the ball doesn't mean like you didn't pick your kid up on time. Dropping the ball literally is like you saying something that you either don't do because you don't feel like it anymore, or you don't feel like inconveniencing yourself for your child anymore. And I feel like right now, like, I'll never not inconvenience myself for something that I already communicate and commit to. You know what I'm saying? So look, the message there for anybody listening, right? And we're about to go on a commercial break. The message here is anything that you say you're going to do, whether you're a parent, whether you're a person just listening to this, honor that commitment, because you don't know how that can affect somebody in the future, right? You don't want somebody building their business or starting their family or creating something and they feel like they can't count on anybody because of something that you lacked to do when they needed you to be able to just come through for them. You know what I'm saying? So we're about to go on a commercial break, but the one thing that I need you guys to understand, is if somebody didn't honor the commitments that they made to you to get you where you are in your life right now, where would you be in your life right now? Let's go on commercial.
Welcome back. We are here with the active dad himself, and we are having a great converson. And we have added a little something to the table. Literally.
Yo, so before we continue, we just want to shout out our sponsors, our partners, Bedlam, local distillery, local alcoholic beverage company located right here in Durham, North Carolina. Shout out to Bedlam. Go get you something. At any ABC store in North Carolina. If you're in North Carolina, go get you some Bedlam.
Shout out to the sponsor. Right. That's what I'm talking about.
Straight up.
And if you're looking
no, literally not.
And if you're looking for it, it's like in the local North Carolina section.
Yeah, so shout out to Bedlam.
So at this point in our program, I would like to introduce you to the Red Box.
Okay.
So the Red Box is good, right? What do you think?
Smooth.
Smooth, yeah. So the Red Box has questions in it. I would like for you to take the box, pick a question, read the question, answer the question.
Yeah, all right. The question I have pulled is, I'm currently working on responding better. I'm currently working on responding better when I feel blank.
That's good.
Y'all answer it too, or just me?
Just you.
Oh, okay. That's cool. I'm currently working on responding better when I feel, I want to say annoyed. Yeah, I'm not the best communicator. I'm a good communicator, but I'm not the best communicator at times. Once again, I'm gonna charge all this to my trauma. But nah, it's a joke, but it's kind of serious. but nah, funny thing is, I'm a very, I guess you say, outspoken person. I'm a straight shooter when it comes to anxiety. But when I get annoyed, my problem is I let stuff pile up. I'll say a couple things a couple times. Cool. If I got it, when we get to like the fifth time, delivery is trash. Delivery is trash. I'm like on 10. You're probably almost like going to shut down. I don't really care if you shut down. Because I feel good right now. It's like all hell's breaking loose. And
we were talking about that sort of.
Like all hell's breaking loose, and then like afterwards it's just like, all right, whatever, cool. Let's go to the next thing. So it works, but then it doesn't work. It works with my friends. Like my friend group is all the same way.
Wow.
We all talk to each other like very. I remember when me and Ed first started dating, and we were throwing parties, and I forgot what happened. And my boy Demetrius called me, and we had like a heated discussion about something. It was like cursing, like everything. And she was like, "Y'all talk to each other like that?"
Yeah.
I was like, he'll call me back. Then 10 minutes later, he's like, "Hey, well, we're going to happy hour." And she's like, "Y'all are crazy." So, and those settings it works, you know, in the household though.
Your wife, that ain't working.
That
ain't working.
Because she is very much shut down. Like if she's not going to tolerate it. And I always tell her, you don't have to talk to me like how everything's really big on respect, and like I want to treat you, you know, how I want to be treated. Like I tell her, I said, if you ever get mad, you can curse me the hell out. I don't care. I was like, oh, okay, cool. I get it. So I think that just goes back from your environment. Mama never cussed us out, but they had a way with words that'll cut you, that have like, you know what? I don't want to do that again. I'm not going to make that decision again. So.
Nice. We're going to spice it up a little bit.
Spice it up, Kyle.
I want you to pull one of the questions and you can choose who to ask it to.
Here we go.
We're going to make it a little fun.
I don't know why I'm sitting here shaking it like nothing's moving. It's like shake. It's all in the bruh. You got the same paper. The same paper, bruh. All right, in which ways have you become the person that your younger self needed? I'm going to ask you.
That's me? Okay.
That's good.
Thank you. I think that when I was younger, I don't feel like I had, like, my parents are still married. I grew up with both my parents in the house. I don't feel like people listen to me. I don't feel like I was the child that was chosen. I don't feel like people really considered anything that I really, like, I lived in a privileged household. So my parents, I guess upper middle class probably. And so I had everything that I like needed, but was missing things that I needed emotionally, you know? Okay. And so I think that in a lot of ways it's become very important to me that I provide safe spaces to people. And when I feel like, or I'm told that I'm not creating that environment, it really bothers me. So because I knew that was something I needed, I have tried to become that for people, because I don't think I had that. I talk about this all the time, where when I asked my parents to go to therapy, they said, like, just pray about it. Like, you're a child, you ain't got no real issues that you need to talk to nobody about. So that, I guess, in that way.
That's a good question, man. I'm gonna answer it as well.
Okay.
So ask me the question again.
Oh, sure.
Oh, pick another one. Pick another one.
I'm just gonna do this because that shaking wasn't getting us anywhere.
That's good, man.
All right. If you could have saved yourself from one event from your past, what would it be?
You're welcome.
I would say staying in a relationship that was past its expiration date and it ended up having a child. You know, I'm gonna call a spade a spade. You know what I'm saying? I had the opportunity of making a different decision. I had the opportunity of, moving in a different direction. I had the opportunity right there in front of me, right? And I feel like my insecurity, my ego, my lack there of belief in myself, stayed in a relationship past the expiration date. And I feel like everything was up and up for me. Like, career was intact, everything was like right there. And I feel like I stayed in it, then she was pregnant. Now I love my son to death, and I'll do anything for him. And he's definitely my motivation and inspiration now for everything that I do. But I do believe if I could have listened to my discernment and trusted in God and was willing to be alone, I feel like I would be in a different place.